No, you're not seeing things, ladies and gentlemen. We're back live on Sportswire Radio, and we're here for round two. Round two it is because we've got a lot to talk about in the world of ROEW, especially when it comes to this championship situation, which I'm still trying to figure out. Who is the ROEW World Champion? And why is that important? Because while I know that our esteemed colleague, and since actually we're live right now, also on the other PWF page, the Promo Wrestling Federation page, obviously the channel that you built. I've actually got an announcement for you as well. I know you've told us a short while ago on Instagram that you had an announcement about ROEW. Well, since you've been such a good friend, such a supporter over these past 2 years, and I've always said James Taylor, I love James Taylor, and he's always my favorite. And now we're so forever intertwined because of the Promo Wrestling Federation page. You passed the torch to me, although I still don't know the promo wrestling world. Sean Jovi, please help me out on that one. But I've got a gift, maybe, just maybe, for you. And I also decided, since I am such in a giving mood to you, sir, good friend, that I've even got my work uniform once. I know I don't even have my ROEW shirt on. I don't have on my Jack Delta shirts, my Aaron Blaze shirts on, who was here Saturday. I've got my very own James Taylor shirt, which I haven't worn in a while. Since you've been on here the last couple of appearances, I decided, let me put this on tonight because I have a feeling this is going to be a rather, I don't know if it's going to be a comedic next hour, if it's going to be a serious next hour. It'll be whatever the chat wants us to be, but there is so much to talk about, especially what we saw on Tuesday Night Throwdown, and something tells me you're going to be throwing down things. I know what happened on the show. There was some throwdowns. Maybe we'll even give some plugs to some Taffy's Lounge, trying to get you one step closer to 1,000 subs, to at least butter you up a little bit, butter you up, because I don't know how you'll take my announcement, but it's so good to see you, even though I technically saw you Sunday, but this feels more like I'm seeing you in a usual spot. So I have to give you that usual introduction that you deserve, because after all, you have built this platform. You are obviously, as I stated yesterday, followed by more people than the likes of Cora Jade. She might try to, show her assets off, but she still has less followers than you on TikTok. And you've got 128,000 plus followers combined on all social media platforms. You're arguably the greatest named figure in the history of the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit. Some would say even in wrestling history, you're one of the biggest names. I would also say you're considered to be the greatest owner in wrestling history, especially after that guy with 3 initials basically went off and collected his billion. So you've definitely shown how generous you've been, considering how many millions of views you get on TikTok and now on Instagram with that Stephanie McMahon reel. I mean, some people might have been looking, but you obviously are always looking up at us and giving so much back to this sport that I've still decided to introduction that you deserve, especially now that we're in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters. And we're round 2 tonight. I'm doing double duty, and for good reason. I'll do triple, quadruple, centuple, whatever other times duties you want to call it. Diamond duty. I'll do 10 times duty on a given day to talk ROEW and talk with this man. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me and giving a rounding standing ovation for this man in prime time. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. The man with more followers on TikTok than Cora Jade. 129,000 followers now total on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the greatest owner in wrestling history now, some would say. Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, soon to be multiple times Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. His name is, simply put, the legendary Nemesis my friend, long time no speak.
How's them lungs doing?
My guest asked me that yesterday, and then Will from Total Effing Chaos, who did not like the intro, asked that. I said, well, I've done 107 nights in a row or something like that. Then I said a couple days ago when you were here that it felt good to be back on Sportswire Radio this past weekend, and you were still like, well, you're here every night. What do you mean by back? Well, I said, well, there were certain shows during last week's show that, didn't feel like being in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters. But when James Taylor's on Sportswire Radio, you better believe it's prime time. It's so much it's prime time that we're even live right now on the Promo Wrestling Federation YouTube page because this is an important night. There's a lot to talk about. It. How you feeling right now? Because I know we got some announcements. We got a couple different things in the pike, some surprises. I mean, how you feeling, big guy?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing well actually.
You doing well?
It's funny that you said that you've got a special thing for me here in a little bit. Well, I sent something your way, and I got a little something for you, but it's more for the audience, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Other than that, it's a Tuesday evening, and I figured what better way just to get right on to it. And let's talk about the events of what happened today for Tuesday night throwdown for ROEW. Did you see it?
I sure did. I have to admit, I actually took a nap, and first thing I did was wake up and watch ROEW. It was BTW, and then I watched ROEW. It was like, okay, all right, now we can go live on Sportswire, which led me to about 8 o'clock.
There you go. Hell yeah. Well, let's just talk about it real quick. Let's go ahead and jump the gun. BYW did some dastardly things today on Tuesday Night Throwdown when they decided to beat the crap out of one Jacob Collins, Alex Cross, and this poor gentleman that was just going through the training session. And he was invited on the show. He made his appearance, and he got the tar beat out of him. And for what, Tom? What was that all about? I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on in their heads. But something kind of shocked me. I mean, if you watch the footage, it almost looked as if Cameron, Mr. Big Man Cam, decided to bark orders and give direction. What was that all about?
Well, he's 6'17" with a size 39 shoe, and and I don't know what in God's green earth for Jacob Collins, Alex Cross, and the homeless guy. He could be Alex Cross for all I know, but he definitely wasn't related to Randy Cross, the NFL announcer / football legend. But boy, BYW, I wouldn't want to be in their sights. They certainly don't like you, James Taylor, and I know I want to play my video soon, but yeah, you brought it up, and just, I mean, this is sure domination. This is sure.
This is a bugging. This is what
I don't think in this circuit this year, I don't think I've seen domination. What I just saw today, what these guys did, the ROEW Midwestern champion, although you do not call him the ROEW Midwestern champion, the Cyclone Jason Storm, the good guy CJ Black, the 7-star superstar, rated twice 7 stars, and of course, in his mind, the ROEW champion, Big Man Cam, although you may call him just the holder of the championship belt, but they are consisting of the group BYW, and boy, did they just, I mean, they definitely put a number and a hurting on these three young lads.
He did that lights out to that poor guy.
That hurt.
That's a trainee. He's coming up the ranks. He's over there working his ass off, training in our training facility, trying to make an appearance and make himself known. And before he can even get started, they're tearing him up. And look at big man Cam sitting right there barking orders, and then Jason Storm and all 3 inches of his ass crack going out there acting like.
By the way, what is it with this year in backyard and underground wrestling with guys in the ass crack scenes? There's been like, I've seen it in XCW, I've seen it in TBW, I've seen it in DBW, I've seen it in ROEW, WCE. Is that like almost the calling card, do you think?
It must be. You wear blue jeans to the ring, expect your ass crack to be shown. If you ain't wearing the proper, attire for.
Well, I would hope it'd be Jennifer Lopez's, but that's a different conversation for a different time, or Kim Kardashian's or somebody like that. But obviously, BYW is definitely putting a hurting on these young lads, and that's obviously they just are doing what they want at will.
Yeah, and it's uncalled for. Look at this. He's going to take a steel chair. I ought to fine that man. I ought to give him a big ass fine for what he's doing. Not only is he sitting there injuring superstars in a non-matchup, he's also taken the world's heavyweight championship that belongs to the outsider, Jack Delta.
Big man. Well, it's funny you said that because I have something that sort of alludes to that. It's interesting that you brought that up because I'm going to put this on pause for a second. I know there's a lot of people starting to come into the show, so we'll do that here in a second. So I'm going to take this off the screen because James Taylor, speaking of the championship situation and speaking of that, as I alluded to you, I actually have a video that is going to play and maybe tell you something and explain to somebody else that they are something. So I know you're the owner of the company, but I have given a gift to you. This gift has been bestowed upon me for you to play, and I can see the sweating. It reminds me of, remember the movie Dick Tracy where the guy Mumbles was mumbling and he was sweating? That reminds me of you. That was Dustin Hoffman who played Mumbles. But I guess I'm going to play this video for you, James, and let's do that now because it's very short, sweet, to the point, almost kind of like today's show. So let me do that for the audience. And world premiere video, never seen before, explaining who is the ROEW World Champion and a message to the one and only legendary ROEW owner, James Taylor. Let's get right to it. Wait. Oh, that's a guy.
World Heavyweight Champion, and you're watching Sportswire Radio, the home of all wrestling matters, with my friend, the Reverend Tom Bryce, and James Taylor. You must acknowledge that I am your ROEW World Champion, because that's the bottom line, and I said so.
Whoa, there it is! Let's play it one more time for the audience. Big Man Cam has called himself...
Big Man Cam, the ROEW World Heavyweight Champion, and you're watching Sportswire Radio, the home of all wrestling matters, with my friend, the Reverend Tom Bryce, and James Taylor. You must acknowledge that I am your ROEW World Champion, because that's the bottom line, and I said so.
Whoa! James Taylor, did you just see him has sent a message to the world that he is going around and he says he's the ROEW World Champion and there's nothing you can do about this? What do you have to say about that?
I mean, there's plenty I could do about it. Number one, he's lying to the world. I mean, does everybody want to support a liar? There's no actual fact that states that Big Man Cam is the ROEW World Heavyweight Champion because he did not earn it. Matter of fact, Tom, he was never even number one contender. He has to earn that right before he can have a shot at the championship. And that's just how it is because I said so.
So you say he's lying to the world, but...
He's absolutely lying to the world. You could give him a damn lie detector test. He's got nothing but a big old stripe running right up the middle of his back. He wants to sit there and flap his gums and thinks that he's hot shit and thinks that he's somebody because he beat the crap out of the world champion.
Are
But it
you
was
sure?
for a
One more time, we'll play
non-title
it for the
match.
audience.
Hi, this is Big Man Cam, the ROEW World Heavyweight
He's
Champion.
saying he's
and
the
you're watching
ROEW
Sportswire
World
Radio,
Champion.
the home of all wrestling matters.
That's all
with my friend,
lies,
the Reverend
Tom.
Bryce.
That's all lies.
And
You could
Dan
ask
Taylor.
people in the audience.
You
I
acknowledge that
guarantee
I am
you.
your
Ask them to
ROEW
vote.
World
Do you
Champion.
think Big Man
Because that's
Cam's
the
a
bottom
liar,
line.
or do you
That's a good
think
point.
he's legit?
Actually, we'll actually do that here. We'll take this off the stream. So, if you're in the chat and you're watching, because we have a lot of people watching right now. There's a lot of people. So, if you've seen the video, you've watched everything. If you're out there, who do you refer to as the ROEW World Champion? Is it Big Man Cam? Is it Jack Delta? I mean, what do you think out there? I mean, Big Man Cam has obviously told the world right now he's the ROEW World Champion, and he said there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's just...
There's absolutely everything I could do about it. And matter of fact, I'm going to advise that the ROEW universe and the rest of the community
There's a
of
lot of
backyard and
fans of
underground
ROEW
wrestling
now.
I'm sorry?
There's a lot of fans of ROEW here right now and in general.
I hope that the entire world tunes in. You don't want to miss this Friday night at Face Off, because consequences are in order, consequences have been lined up, and consequences will be delivered this Friday night at ROEW Face Off. I do not acknowledge anybody, especially a big boy who thinks he's the world champion. He can't even afford a damn decent enough phone to record the video.
Well, I was wondering, I mean, considering what he did, though, on today's show, we played some of the footage, what he and BYW did. Do you still feel safe about your job? Do you still feel that you could, say these things to Big Man Cam and he'll even listen? I mean, because what this man did, I mean, listen, I'm glad he considers me a friend. I don't know who's the champion or not, but thankfully Big Man Cam does appreciate this platform, and I appreciate him too. And whoever obviously was out of the goodness of their heart paid for that cameo for Big Man Cam to record that. Whoever that person is must have some deep finances. I mean, maybe they could buy ROEW. Do you want me to buy ROEW? I'm only kidding. We want you to stay with ROEW. You're the greatest ROEW wrestling owner in history. But the point is that, I mean, were you still confident that you could, tell Big Man Cam what to do?
Oh yes, 100%. I don't fear any man, Tom. If you haven't learned, you say I'm one of your favorites. If you haven't understood, I don't back down from anybody.
That's true.
Anywhere, anytime. I don't give a damn how big he is. I don't care how small he is. I don't care how much of a threat he really believes he is. Truly in his heart, ain't no man gonna tell James Taylor what to do. And that's all there is to it. So you know what? I need to ask a question. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Tom Bryce. Let me ask the world a question. A couple of weeks ago, on one of our episodes in ROEW, one Jason Storm, who's been calling out the creator, Mr. JX, said that he despises parasites. He refers to people like you, Tom, and me, parasites, because we like to eat pizza. He says parasites eat pizza. He can't stand people who eat that soggy stuff because he eats nothing but greens and he's just all toned up and he's a rock of a man.
Well, you kind of alluded to that he's not toned anymore. Yes, sir.
BYW runs shit, and I got a little bit of footage, and I got a document, a picture, so to speak, that I sent to you. And if would you care to show that and share that with the world, and I'll explain what we're looking at.
Actually, I do have it here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this off the screen because I actually do have that photo. I have a photo in a video, so let me play the photo first. Which order do you want? Actually, you're the owner.
So let's start with Jason Storm's best friend. The photo. Let's start with that.
Let me do that for you. I got that actually. As a matter of fact,
ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you evidence A.
Oh, you've taken lessons from the trial that Jason Storm had for the
yes, exactly, Tom.
Oh, so kind. I never knew that a law class would come into handy all these years later when I took law.
Let me present Exhibit A.
Does this ring a bell? Is that the photo?
We have a member, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, of Tom Bryce's Sportswire Radio. We have Exhibit A of BYW. Jason Storm's best friend is eating, if you wouldn't care to zoom in, I don't know if you can or not, but he is eating pepperoni pizza. Now, I prefer pepperoni, so CJ Black's got good taste, and it looks like this guy, who's a good guy, who's his best friend, must be a parasite within ROEW, within BYW. The evidence speaks for itself. Tom, can we go to Exhibit B?
Yes, sir. Let me take this off the screen. I might actually be able to jump this on the screen, but the audio might be choppy. Let's try it first.
We don't have to have any audio. It's okay.
Oh, we don't? Oh, we don't actually? Okay, let's try it. I actually think I should have it here. Okay. Boy. This should be the video here. Let's pull it up. Oh, nope. It's got to go to the iCloud. Okay. Because unfortunately, it's the corrupted file. So we have it. Should be, actually, before I do anything, yep, I got it. Okay. Hang on one second. Now we should pull it up here. Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, Exhibit B, the self-proclaimed world champion inside BYW's best buddy, Big Boy Cam, eating some doughy pizza. Is that a parasite? Exhibit A, Exhibit B does not. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, I present to you parasites within BYW. The evidence speaks for itself. So, Jason Storm says BYW runs shit and everybody else is parasites. I'm confused, Tom, because is Jason Storm saying that we're parasites and we're all liars? Or does the evidence speak for itself?
Well, I think some of the listeners do think I'm a parasite regardless, but I do certainly see the point, Mr. Taylor. I do see the point. I mean, obviously, I guess CJ Black and Big Man Cam are parasites because they eat pizza and he doesn't like pizza. Is that what you're pretty?
Apparently, that's what it is. You can go ahead and cut the footage. The fact is, Tom, is that Jason Storm is a dumb son of a bitch. And so is Big Boy Cam, the self-proclaimed ROEW world champion, who is
He told us tonight he was the champion. He told us.
At Face Off this Friday night, tune in because consequences are in order. I am going to make my appearance and I am going to tell the world what's about to happen because not only that, Tom, not only is there going to be consequences in order, but the nemesis James Taylor just got through today after I went to the attorneys. I signed a current world champion in the yard who will be making his long-awaited appearance and debut in ROEW. You will find out this Friday night at Face Off, and there it is.
Oh, I'm going to put the ROEW YouTube page up in a second, but let me ask you a question that I know you won't go like one wrestler did a couple of weeks ago and spoil the things, but do you think that or do you think I'll know who this person would be?
Tom, I don't think anybody will know because I am sworn to secrecy, and in order to protect him from himself and from the rest of the world, I can't give out names. All I can say is please stay tuned and tune in Friday night Face Off because you're not going to want to miss this show. This is probably going to be the hottest Face Off that we've had all year.
But now, technically, though, that technically wouldn't mean Big Man Cam would be there on Friday because he would technically.
I don't know but he better damn well bring that world championship. He can bring all the pizza he wants. Have a pizza party afterward because he's going to need it when he saves his own ass by returning the title to its rightful owner.
And that rightful owner, again, for the audience would be?
We all know who it is. It's the guy who's actually undefeated since he's won the championship, and that is the destructive one himself, the outsider, Jack Delta.
So do you think then if we had a lie detector test for Big Man Cam that he would certainly have eaten a lot of pizza, not just a slice, right? Just before we move on.
He probably ordered like 3 of those sumbitches and was still hungry when he was done.
You think he likes them with extra cheese?
Oh, extra large pepperoni, the extra pepperoni. He likes extra cheese all over that subbitch. He probably gets at least a half a pound, maybe a whole pound of Parmesan cheese, sprinkles it all over it.
Wow, they actually do that. There's some of the old time the old time places in Brooklyn actually do put extra pecorino or parmesan on the pizza, like once they come and put it out in the oven. That's really old school. But not about that. Yes, yeah. Well, you'll come up there
to New York and have me.
And I'll buy pizza on you because I think that you could put away your money. You're obviously signing all these big names. Go focus on putting the money toward the good people of ROEW. I'll take care. I got you next time you come to New York. I definitely got you when it comes to pizza. But I guess then Big Man Cam should focus more than on eating pizza, that maybe he could win a pizza eating contest. Maybe we should have an ROEW pizza eating contest. Do you think?
Maybe Big Man Cam should come on here with Alan Michaels and they have their little pie eating contest.
Alan Michaels
be a hell of a show.
Do that and he got sick, and I think your old foe Jay Wild had something to do with that, and he never quite recovered from that.
That's another conversation for another time.
Definitely another conversation.
Hey, those guys down there at TBW, they're doing a hell of a job. I know it's going to sound crazy coming from me. They're doing a hell of a job, Tom. I think Jay Wild, he's kicking ass right now in the current system as the champion, and it seems like nobody's on his level, but they all know that if James Taylor showed up, I'd beat his ass so bad it'd be nothing but legs running right up his back. Because I'd beat the hell out of them.
Boy, James, you're not
they don't want to put an end to them, so they're not calling me.
James, you're not in a giving mood tonight. Tonight is different. I think tonight you are laying down the law. Have you gotten sick and tired of BYW? Have you had it up to here? It reminds me of when I was always out of line as a kid, when my father would come home from work, and that was it. It was over. I'm
tired of these punk ass kids running around thinking that they run shit because they say they do. I'm tired of these little bastards running around acting like the world should respect them. I've done my time. I've been around. People respect me because of who and what I am, because I back up every word I say. So BYW going to run around and act like a bunch of damn children. I'm going to treat them like children because all their asses are about to get grounded and they're going to end up doing the time very, very soon if they don't watch what they do, especially after what happened today at Tuesday Night Throwdown, period.
I mean, I guess we could say, at least on a side note, rest in peace to the homeless guy, right?
Rest in peace to him, man. I hope he recovers, though, and when he comes back, he might be pissed off. I don't know. But I bet your chat's going like crazy.
They are actually going crazy, and I think it's a good time to read off what the chat has to say, because there's so many comments. It's good to be back with the chat, because the chat was kind of quiet today, but we were very, listen, Max the Hammer, Max Strong, he was definitely strong. He was very strong tonight, and we have him back here September 18th, but we also had a lot of fun yesterday with Will Carroll, who was asking you about CM Punk, but I'm not going to go down that road tonight. You've got BYW to worry about, and we're not going to worry about the Hammer laying down the law, and we're just going to get to the chat because the chat is here. Zilla gave like 14 different comments, but I'm basically just going to say that she says that she respects BYW and she respects Jason Storm and James Taylor, and she just does it all in one shot. Want to say hello to my buddy Dimitri Green. I saw Dimitri earlier on Instagram because there was a live with Aaron Blaze, and it kind of went interesting. It was Sparks flew there. He went back and forth with Tristan Taylor, the other Taylor, though tonight's Taylor is a lot more explosive, I could see, after what you're going through. And Jay Cal, the headshot. Then there was talk about this guy who used to be in UWA, but I'm going to leave that at that because I'm happy to be back in my chair. But I was watching that, and my good friend Dimitri Green, the general manager of the PWF Midtown, because I own the other half of the PWF alongside Omen Black and Soldier GP. And how you doing, Dimitri, again? Dimitri, I just finally followed him on Instagram on the other PWF page. I forgot he followed me, so hopefully he's happy with me now. Alexander Kelly, what's good, my friend? We're a lot tonight. I mean, tonight you saw we're already going through a lot through 28 minutes. We're just getting started here. Want to say hello to Abraham Storm. How you doing, Abraham, my friend? It's good to see you. I know Aaron Blaze is very high on you. I'm going to get you on this platform. I promise you in the next few weeks. Yes, hello, Zilla. We love Zilla. Zilla was here with us with the Hammer Max Strong, who's spelled with 2 X's. Want to say hello to my friends, BTW, by the way. Very impressive company. What a great day today it was. We had AWL's return, BTW show, Comatose was in action. We had a slew of other stars in BTW. We had ROEW, a great day. Who knew Tuesdays would be the day for backyard and underground wrestling? And we had it. Shout out to our friends in beautiful Oregon, by the way. Have you been to Oregon by any chance? Or no?
I have been to Oregon.
Oh, you have? You've been to Oregon.
Yes,
what a small world.
When I was selling magazine subscriptions, doing door-to-door sales back in 2015. No, it was 2016. I did it for I did it for about 8 months or so. I traveled the whole West Coast. I went everywhere but Nevada. And but I did go up there to Oregon. I got to see Portland, went up to Seattle, Washington, as far as that, and then went back down through California. But nice. Oregon, very, very pretty. If you're from the South like I am, though, that higher elevation, when you get up there, your ears are popping all the damn time.
I heard a lot about that. Colorado, Oregon, Washington. Absolutely. We love our friends in Oregon, and we have coverage with Jacob Frost, who's here in your chair next Tuesday, a longtime guy known in the yard, a guy very respected yarder, and he's here next Tuesday night. Very excited about that one. Really excited about that. Just as I'm excited as you being back here, back home where you are. Yes, we loved BTW's show today. Yes, BTW is a very good, strong show. And Jack Delta, before we get back to the news with Jack Delta and the world title, did say rip to the homeless guy. Yeah, the homeless guy, yeah, definitely. Hopefully he gets a place other than Potter's Field. Hopefully he gets a nice burial that will have his name on it, the homeless guy, and they could have a nice ceremony for it. Want to say hello to my very good friend, your very good friend, Mr. Darkron, of course. Love Mr. Darkron, of course, gave me the nice Summer Bass shirt along with the rest of the guys. And thank you, Mr. Cron, for the very nice letter there. I am so thankful for that. Love our guys in DKW being here in ROEW. And DKW and ROEW almost simultaneously at 1,000 subscribers. Both are closing in at 900, and Taffy's Lounge is closing in on 1,000. I'll be pulling up those links shortly. A lot more comments to get through here. How everyone doing this evening? I'm doing great. I mean, I couldn't be any better place. How about you, my man? Justin Parsley's in the house. Good evening, Mr. Taylor. With what kind of emoji is that? What emoji is that? Is it like
a whale?
A whale?
What are you trying to say? I'm fat or something?
What are you trying to say?
I got beat the hell out of your partner a couple of weeks ago who calls himself Anthony Quill. Okay, so you're the real deals. I done whipped his ass. I don't want to have to hurt you, Mr. Parsley. Other than that, I like you.
Well, did you see on Resurrection his most recent match? They spelled his name wrong there.
No, I didn't watch.
Maybe that's why Xavier Thorne got released, or is that something else? Let's not go there.
I don't know.
Let me go to Mr. Delta, because Mr. Delta's comment means more than me having a sip of Mountain Dew in a Slurpee cup. Brainless idiot cannot film in horizontal mode. Stop filming in vertical, you fake champion. And he said that in caps lock, by the way. Caps lock.
That's because he's making a statement. And what is that picture of him? Is that him holding a world championship that says ROEW?
Well, it's certainly not the XCW New Age title. It's the ROEW championship, thank God.
You're damn right. You're absolutely right. Because he represents my company. Because ROEW is his company. He's the world champion. He has a little bit of stroke and can call some shots. He made the open challenge. He didn't say it was for a title, and that big bastard decided to come out and ruin it all.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm loving the fact if you would have said to me at this time last year that you and Jack Delta would be in a company in the state of Michigan and you would be the owner and his boss, James, I would have said, what are you smoking? What? How strong is that dope? How strong is those shrooms, ecstasy, whatever it was? I would never have believed it, but here we are, and you just never know out there. Yes, we respect Justin Parsley. Yes, we do respect him. Yes, he's my champion. Yummy content here. Yummy content says Big Man Cam pinned him, and I think that makes him a champion. Boss is just bad. So there's a Big Man Cam fan here. So, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yes. I bet you. I'm sorry, Tom.
Yes,
I know you're on a roll. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not.
There's more evidence right there. Somebody, probably Big Man Cam himself, made a little troll account. When the hell have we ever seen yummy content? Come right up on here.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Bullshit.
We have yummy content every night on Sportswire. I think yourself included have made Sportswire the home of all wrestling matters. I would like to think respectfully, my very, very dear friend, who I have the utmost respect for. I'm so grateful that you allowed me to keep the PWF name alive with your obviously graces, that I would think every night on Sportswire we have yummy content because we always are here every single night at this point. I think Omen said it best 2 days ago. I'm practically chained to this platform every night because, well, I would think we'd have yummy content, but you seem to disagree, I see, sir.
I just got word.
Yes,
That, with all due respect, and I hope that he recovers,
yes,
well, that homeless man, it goes by the name of Matt. Matt, what? I don't know. But I hope that Matthew, wherever you are, I'm sorry about what happened to you today at Throwdown.
Very sorry.
Trust me, there will be consequences this Friday night. Hot face-off.
Well, you heard it first. James Taylor said consequences, and that's how it's going to be in the bottom line. So, okay, I'll be watching. I watch every Friday, and I'm in the chat usually. I've been in the chat, actually. So, yeah. I can't wait. Dark Crown would like to say it's Jack Delta. Listen to the stipulations before you start your match, BYW.
Thank you.
Talked about that.
Thank you.
Want to say hello to Andrew Lovelace, who I got to give him a big shout out because he came from work, ran into the stream with himself and his tag team partner, and then came back out and is here right now already. So that's dedication. That's why he's a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. He's our resident DJ, and he's going to be here on September the 18th at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So there you have it.
Welcome, Mr. Lovelace.
Yes, PWX is in the house. Love that. Sean Jovi, who I saw, he's got his own tag team partner, and it's an old friend, Remy Ravage. We saw Remy Ravage, obviously, a huge part of Summer Bash and the GBYWN, and I believe they're going to be in action this Saturday, All Out Warfare. Our IMF friends are going to be here in your chair Thursday night, and Sean Jovi is going to be back in that house and about to burp there. How's it going, Jovi? Yes, we love having Jovi here. Good to see my buddy and your buddy and everybody else's buddy. Well, Big Man Cam pinned Jack Delta, so Big Man Cam. So Zilla thinks that Big Man Cam's the RWW champion, so it's two comments now. 2 comments tonight. There seems to be now a chatter about Big Man Cam.
What part of non-title match does any of these people not understand? With all due respect, Zilla, nobody knows who you are. I know you're a fan of everybody. That's great. We appreciate the support, especially ROEW and especially me, the nemesis James Taylor. But, honey, you got it all wrong. You got it wrong. You need to see the light and understand Big Man Cam is a liar. And if the rest of the chat is in here, I would love, please, do me and Tom a favor.
We have a lot of comments.
I would like everybody, just type in one comment, whether you think Big Man Cam's a liar. Just type in liar or type in, hero or he's the champ. Type in champ if you believe he's a champ, or type in liar if you think he's a liar.
So if you're in the chat, and I know we have a lot of comments to get through, if you think Jack Delta's the champ, you could say Jack Delta. If Big Man Cam's the champ, you can say he's the champ or not the champ. So James has pretty much said, if you're in the chat, tell us what you think, and we'll obviously read him out, and we'll figure out who's the champion. Well, actually, James is going to still say Jack Delta's the champion.
That's Jack Delta.
Play along anyway. We'll play along anyway. He's calling Big Man Cam a hypocrite, and also CJ Black for the pizza thing, by the way. That's hits his home. Actually, today, James, it's funny you said that because I did have pizza today for the first time in over a week. I had to admit I was back home. I was in my old stomping grounds in Brooklyn, and I had to actually drop off something very important, which would generate yours truly some a couple of extra peanuts, you might want to say. Peanuts compared to most of the world, and I went and stopped and had 2 slices of pizza actually in my old neighborhood. So actually, I did have pizza for the first time in over a week, and my first thought was, is this going to come up on tonight's show? And there you have it. It just did.
Well, I had pizza 2 nights ago, so there you go. Yeah, we all love pizza. Everybody loves pizza, and I think the only parasites that there are people who really don't like pizza, like Jason Storm.
Let's get to the chat. I think they don't want to hear me eat pizza and you eat pizza. Maybe they do. Corey, you have more followers than Cora Jade, so maybe they do want to hear that.
I got more than Big Pete too.
But Cora, everybody knows Cora Jade right now because obviously she's Cora Jade. She could take her shirt off, and she still has less followers than you. People might want to see that in the chat. I'm sure maybe the chat wants to see Cora Jade host Sportswire shows instead of me. That might be interesting. It might be. I don't think she'd want to come on the show, though. But
I don't think it'd work out.
I don't think so either. But the good guy got busted. And yes, Abraham's laughing at it. We're all laughing at it. Why is he eating like that? He does realize it's not going to run away, right? I think And Darkron called him also a hypocrite.
Shit.
Let's get to the chat. GM Green, by the way, very excited. PWF inaugural championship in the PWF Mid South. It's a triple threat. It's going to be Chase Sullivan, Cody Flores, who you know very well, and Sammy Slade. Really good match there. Very excited about that triple threat match. That's going to take place in 13 days from now, August 26th. And speaking of birthdays, I have to give a happy birthday wish. My very good buddy, Steven Saperstein, James Taylor, joins you, and he hits the big 4-0. James Taylor, you have another 40-year-old alongside. My buddy Steven Saperstein, a man who was my former employer once upon a time, is actually turned 40 years old, and today's his 40th birthday. And Steve, I hope that you're having a great day out there. You've been one of my closest friends for a long time. You've been a great supporter. You were actually the first person to have ever listened to a Sportswire radio show way back in the time machine, back on SoundCloud almost 6 years ago. And here we are today, and because of you, Steve, we're here. Well, not all because of you, Steve, but a large part of why you're here. And I hope you had some pizza today, like maybe we did in New York. And I hope you had a great day. And I hope you have many more birthdays ahead. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your friendship. And I hope to see you soon. And maybe I'll buy you a slice of pizza, Maybe that'll be a good thing for your 40th birthday. Because actually, the last time I saw Steve, I was having a slice of pizza over 2 weeks ago, I think it was, in New York, because he lives in Manhattan now. He lives in New York City. So there you go. But happy birthday, Steve. I hope that you have a great day. And thank you so much for all of your friendship and support over the years. Let's move on. AI has really gotten out of hand. Both of those are fake. CJ wears boots, not sandals, and I don't listen to that kind of music. So Big Man Cam is saying that's fake. He said it's fake. What do you say?
Oh my God. Okay, buddy, if that's what you believe, but it's not fake. It's absolute truth. It's all facts. The AI systems aren't that well, okay, and not that well to make a piece of pizza look that good and going in your big ass mouth.
Oh, I'm not going to think about Big Man Cam's mouth, but I'm going to think about Justin Parsley's next comment. Were those reps to build up Cam's chest? I've noticed a cup grade here recently. That was a clever comment. That was a clever one. Justin Parsley always has the clever comments on Sportswire. The clever one here. Dark Cryptic Wrestling, a.k.a. Mr. Dark Kron. The fact is, Jason Storm is a nut job. He needs to be locked in a padded room.
Yeah.
That's not nice, though. Why would you want to lock somebody in a padded room? That's almost like abuse. Do we want to do that to people? It's 2024. I thought we were progressive in the world now. James is rolling his eyes. Move on. So I guess I'm a parasite because I ate pizza rolls. Who knows? Funny Delta said it's not going to run away, but he did. Where was he tonight? Well, he's in the chat.
Well, he's in the chat, you big son of a bitch. I mean, why don't you talk
to
him?
More. I think there's more where this came from. I have a feeling tonight's chat is very lively. The chat is lively because they know it's James Taylor and they know it's Big Man Cam and Jack Delta.
Is false. Undefeated is false. Yeah, he's undefeated as the world champion. You beat him because you caught him off guard. And not only that, had three bastards on top of him, all fighting like little kindergartners just to have a chance to be in the ring with Jack Delta. And then you got it. You stole the chance. And not only that, yeah, he had all the distractions. You did everything you could to beat him, and you beat him pretty quick. I'll give you that, kid. I will give you that.
There's a lot where this comes from. Nah, I like my pizza with extra pixels because that was AI and fake.
Okay, I mean, we can watch it again if you need to really see that. I really think the rest.
Do you want me to pull it back up?
I believe the rest of the chat already knows, Tom. You don't.
Okay, because I'm sure the chat would, if they want to. Who knows? Fun fact: they call them pizza rolls. They stop.
Lord have mercy, chat, please, chat.
I think the chat as maybe I'm a bad influence on the chat because they're starting to take my humor on, and that's not a good thing because we want to stay on the air. We want to get me to 1,000 subs, not get me thrown off the air. But maybe Cora Jade will take over. That might be a good idea, right?
Oh my God, Tom!
I think the chat would love
this is your show.
But if Cora Jade took over, I think a lot of people would love to see that for obvious reasons.
The only thing she's got is her assets. Of course, everybody would simp over her, but they come to Sportswire to listen to you talk. Are you going to talk behind
that,
her?
I actually might tune in, but let's move on. Let's move on. Darkron's loving it. Makes sense why Jack Delta is friends with James Taylor. Their periods are in sync. Can't wait until I get my hands on both of you and make you go bye-bye, kind of like NSYNC. Bye-bye, NSYNC. Bye-bye. Get the NSYNC reference? Baby, bye-bye, baby.
Okay,
Baby,
yeah,
big man
we're going to find out. We're going to find out about some bye-byes this Friday
I would
night.
love to see somebody in the chat go to Big Man Cam's cameo and buy a cameo off him so he can like recreate one of those NSYNC songs. Like, hey, it's Big Man Cam. Bye. I'm on Sportswire Radio with my friend, the Reverend Tom Bryce. Bye. Something like that. It'd be funny. TVW is doing great. Yes, but ROEW is also doing great and good. Yes, that's obviously Zilla giving us the obvious answer. Yes, they're both doing great. We are very happy to have.
I think I know who Zilla is now.
I see. Okay, well, Zilla.
Huh? Yeah, Zilla.
Hot Pockets were named after Cam's secret hiding place where he keeps his favorite snack. Now, Justin has shared a locker room with Cam in Indiana, so he might know firsthand. He would know they worked in XCW.
Weren't they at Summer Bash together?
They were at Summer Bash as well. Yes, CBW, I think also, right? With Justin was in CBW. They filmed CBW in the same place. So these guys know each other very well, Justin and Big Man Cam. They were in a locker room together in Summer Bash. Although, was it really a locker room? What do they call a locker room like at Summer Bash? Do they call it like a barn? Was it the barn? The barn room? Or,
I have no idea. That's something you probably have to ask everybody that was there or Dark
If you were at Summer Bash, what do we call the locker room? Do we call it the barnyard? Do we call it what do we call that? I would love to know for the chat. I think we got a lot more comments. Let me get to everybody here. I feel like Mr. Taylor here and I would be good friends. I think you would be. I don't see why anybody wouldn't want to be friends with James Taylor. I mean, so yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, I would like to be friends with James Taylor. Who wouldn't like to be friends with James Taylor? Aside from Big Man Cam and BYW, they don't seem to want to be friends with you, but everybody else seems to be wanting friends with you. Even everybody out there. I mean, Soldier GP was, the stunner, the stunner. How's it going, gentlemen?
It doesn't matter if they don't want to be. I mean, one hand's shit and the other. What fills up faster?
James, Sunday we were all reunited on Sunday's show. It was all of us back. It was like a year and a half ago again. It was like when we all started. Well, you and I were around, but the IMF guys were starting out, and here we are. But how's it going, Soldier? Soldier's here Thursday in your chair. Zilla, do you choose BYW or Delta? I need to know now if you're a parasite or not. Boy, Big Man Cam. Zilla tapped out already. Big Man Cam, I choose BYW. Parsley, I'm backing the Sinners this Saturday. I don't know why you're acting parasitic. He doesn't like the foundation, by the way. He doesn't like Omen Black and Soldier GP, which is ironic because you have such an interesting history with them. I mean, you have the most interesting history with them, and yet Big Man Cam is backing Justin Parsley and Isaiah Rage and Ox McCoy and Felix Jones, and Jack Delta's not happy with Zilla.
Ooh.
The whale represents my forehead. It's the biggest attribute I bring to our industry. Alien frog, we can shop other options. I don't know. There's more comments here. Let me get to them here. Plenty of people here. People are fired up. You're awesome, Zilla. You know where I stand. I'm your number one fan, no matter what, heel or baby.
Oh my God. Oh, shit.
Well, let's move on here. Moving on here. More comments, and I see them continuing to roll. It's okay, Zilla. Just make better choices. Do you like pizza, Zilla? Do you respect and support pizza face or heel no matter what?
That was pretty good.
That's a good one, actually. Jack Delta coming with clever lines here. Levi McDaniel's in the house. How you doing, Levi? Good to see my friend. I think I'll see you Thursday, or I'm sure I'll see you in the background. Levi, of course, is with our friends in the IMF, and they have another announcement on Thursday's show. What they kind of said on Sunday's show, but we'll let them announce it again on Thursday's show so the guys can have something more to talk about. That perturbs me. Sinners would have more luck without your support, Frishes.
Okay.
It's that time of month, maybe?
Justin, you still owe me a beer. You're supposed to mail me one, you SOB.
Well, I have a question. How do you mail a beer?
you put it in a damn box, you cover it up, put some saran wrap around it, put some bubble wrap around it, put it in a box and say, I'm shipping this to this address. Is there
Warm
anything
beer?
liquid, perishable, or blah, blah, blah? Yes, it's fragile. So put a fragile sticker on it. Boop, send it. There you go.
Warm beer? Is it warm?
It's going to be stock room temperature, maybe warm. When it gets here, I'll put the bastard in the ice box and let it get cold for a couple hours. I like to get my beer about 32 degrees, take it out. It's perfect drinking temperature, just like he says. Pop the top, and I'll drink it.
What beer do you want again? The Stone Cold beer, right?
The Broken Skull American Lager.
Yeah, I know.
I have the IPA. I like it. It's all right, but I know the American Lager is going to be better.
Duly noted. Let me get to more comments. The chat is pop. No. This is what we're here for. The chat is popping. Zilla, answer that wisely. I don't want you to become parasitic. All right, Spade. He's referring to Justin Parsley as David Spade. Don't you think that Justin Parsley, by the way, he looks like David Spade? I mean, we talked about this already on Sunday's show, but I think we have a bigger audience, and he does look like him a little bit. And I even saw in the Backyard Havoc in his video package, they said that whoever narrated it compared him to David Spade.
He kind of looks like Jim Carrey from Batman Forever in the beginning when he's the Riddler, but when he had the long hair, that's Justin Parsley.
Interesting one. He's here Thursday. I'll remind him of that. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Probably not. I like pizza rolls and I like pizza. Sorry, Big Man Cam. There's Zilla for us. And I think Dimitri calls Zilla a liar. He's a truther. It is an election year, but let's elect to move on from truthers and non-truthers and get to more comments. Big Man Cam is a fraud. I am going to say, let's go to the next comment, Darkon. Call me a parasite all you want, but I side with Jack Delta, the outsider Jack Delta. By the way, Alexander Kelly is with Big Man Cam. After I heard Delta complain that one time, I don't side with him anymore. Well,
I'm not sure. Kelly, don't run down the rabbit hole, buddy. You better turn around now. Let's
move on. Okay, moving on. I got you.
You're fine. You didn't do nothing wrong. I'm just telling Kelly these.
Move on.
Watch it.
It was kind of like in yesterday's show when Will Carroll was talking about being a stand-up comic and the guy was waiting for him with the hook. That's that comment with Alexander Kelly. I got the point, James. What a racist bigot. I thought the cowboy hat and banging your cousins was just part of the gimmick. I guess you're just a straight shooter partner. Ooh.
Who's he talking
He's talking about, I think he's talking about Cameron. Cowboy hat, Cameron.
As long as it's them, because I know he ain't gonna say shit like that.
When was the last time you wore a cowboy? Other than the Resurrection Rumble last year, you put that cowboy hat on for a second.
That was the last time I ever wore one, and that was probably one of the only times in my life.
And speaking of that, I know that Cameron Cage is going to be in your chair 2 weeks from Thursday. He's making his return to Sportswire.
Oh yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I'll be here to watch that for sure.
Oh, I'm sure you will. He actually said
support Cameron Cage whether he's heel or baby.
Well, you certainly do that. But before I get to more comments, I do want to give a plug because you know what? We want to plug all those that support us. And James Taylor has been so gracious with his time, with his 129,000 followers, that I actually want everybody. We have so many people right now in this chat. I want you to go hit that sub button for Taffy's Lounge because he's 82 subscribers away from 1,000. I remember it was at 877 when we started plugging him. Now he's at 918. So if you're anybody and everybody out there, hit that sub button for James Taylor. Because when James Taylor gets to 1,000 subs, I'm going to give him a certificate, and I'm going to make sure whether James Taylor is heel or face that I still give him a certificate of appreciation because I still support James Taylor, whether he does or doesn't support Big Man Cam. So please join me, whether you are face or heel, and hit that sub button for Taffy's Lounge, and maybe you'll get a big hug in exchange, an AI version, whether you're heel or face. I hope you like that out there. Our friends in OMW say hello, which is obviously very relevant because we know ROEW stars, and one of them in the sidelines particularly is a part of that company, like I would guess JX maybe. But how you doing, OMW? Big Man Cam is friends with Ray. Ray pissed. Oh boy, Ray pissed. Ooh, that's some fighting words. Big Man Cam's getting hit hard tonight. Who is Alexander Kelly? Well, that was actually a clever line. Who is Alexander Kelly? Well, we'll have to find out, right? I guess maybe. But he's here in the chat, Alexander Kelly. Zilla, make better choices. I'm more forgiving than Jason Storm. Yeah, I think Alexander Kelly, we're going to say thank you for whoever. Well, let's move on from that. Yes, Jack Delta is a living legend, and we are very happy to have Jack here. He's definitely somebody we want to keep up. Just like Alexander Kelly. We thank Alexander Kelly for being here in the chat. He has been a huge part of things with James, and I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. How does that sound? Can we go and move along? I think we can. OMW is in here spewing hate on me. Why? Well, I'll let OMW answer.
Well, because you're a liar, Cam. That's why. Because you're a liar.
I'm gonna move on from the. I'm gonna move on respectfully from the Alexander Kelly career talk because I'm here to talk about the ROEW World Title. That's the only thing I will say. But OMW actually loves Cam. Is Zilla taking over the OMW YouTube page? You think?
I have no idea. I'm starting to wonder.
That's a good point, right? I'm good. If the ROEW owner, the Nemesis James Taylor, thinks you're worth it, we'll wait out that curtain. Did we hear that James said a current champion is debuting Friday? Can I greet him? Would you want to elaborate on that for a second before I get to
you
some
know
more
what,
comments?
Delta? Yes. You know what? Because you're the cream of the crop. You're the top of the mountain right now in ROEW. So, yes, how about you greet him?
So what does that mean? Does Mr. Delta open the door?
Well, I mean, whenever I step into a locker room for the first time.
What do you do when you step into a
One
locker
thing
room?
I like to do is greet and meet everybody and pay my respects. I respect them for what they do in this business, and I always look for the top guy. It's kind of like if you were to. I've never been, thankfully, but it's just I've heard stories of when you go to jail, you go to prison, you want to find the biggest sumbitch you can find and either knock him out or get his respect right away. And if who I signed does show up like they agreed to me, if they show up this Friday, because I don't know if they will, but they will breach contract if they don't. But if they show up, then I would employ them to meet the first person that's in that ring. And if Mr. Delta finds himself out there and wants to be out there to meet this individual, then there you go. We'll go with that. It just depends. It could, big man Cam, you think you're the champion, maybe you should take your big ass out there. But I promise you, if you do not give that title over to Jack Delta, there's gonna, you know what? It's already done past it. I gave you a warning. I gave you hours to respond. You didn't do it tonight here at Tuesday Night Throwdown. So this is the way it's going to be.
Technically, he did respond. He posted a video saying, "This is the ROEW World Champion, Big Man Cam."
Yeah, but he did not respond in the way that I told him to. I gave him a direct order. You see, he's my employee. I sign his checks. I give him the screen time. I gave him the platform that he takes his big ass on. If you listen to it, every time he steps in the ring, every time he steps in there, BYW steps in there. You know what that ring is saying? That ring is saying, hurry the hell up, get off.
Well, you know what? First, when Big Man Cam opened up his mouth today on ROEW TV on Throwdown, you know what my first thought was? Was Cartman reincarnated? Because it almost sounded like Cartman for a few seconds. Did you hear that?
I didn't go there.
Oh, you didn't. Well, obviously, we'll move on.
Show.
That was a good show.
Check out South Park.
That was a good show. We'll move on. Jason Storm /JX's tires. Well, I'm sorry about that. I wouldn't wish anybody's tires to be slashed. OMW, I can't wait to come back. Where was he on Throwdown? You dingbat. I think he's talking about JX. How is JX, brother? Have you guys spoken stuff? You guys had a chat?
I have no contact with JX. I have no idea.
Is he alive? Is he alive?
I've had my attorneys and everybody and my board of directors try and reach out to him. So
because Omen Black's really upset with him. I mentioned JX on Sunday's show to Omen, and Omen was getting all worked up. The Boogeyman, he was turning Boogeyman like. I was like, Omen, you okay?
No idea. No idea.
Well, I hope JX is alive out there. I hope you're doing well, JX, and I hope one day to see you in the ring and on Sportswire again. Jason Storm tried to poison JX's dogs. Let's not poison dogs out there. Let's really not do it. It's like the John Wick movies where they tried to kill his dog and he went, AWOL. Let's not try to kill people's dogs, Big Man Cam is the chief. Zilla's confused. Zilla's like a Taylor Swift album. It's almost like that's what Zilla is. Zilla's just confused.
I think Zilla is secretly working for BYW.
You think so? You think so?
I'm assuming because all that right there is evidence. Unless Zilla is just, I'm sorry, Zilla. I know you're here every single time.
Zilla's not a tortured poet, then, right? Like a Taylor Swift's a tortured
but
poet.
you're rooting for the wrong team. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, you're rooting for the wrong team.
Cam standing on business. I see eyeballs. Thank you for that. That was a clever one. Assets are temporary. The Reverend is forever. Well, assets are sort of temporary. I mean, depends on what you'd say and her assets would be like if we're talking about young Cora Jade. I mean, some of them you might say are actually enhanced, you might want to say. Some of them might be enhanced, maybe assets monetarily were used to enhance some of those assets, but hey, I wasn't the one that bought them. Happy birthday, Steve. Yes, thank you. Yes, Steve. Happy birthday to our very good friend, Mr. Steven Saperstein. Hits the big 4-0. Joins you, James, in the big 4-0. And definitely hope Steve has a great day. He's been a great friend and supporter of ours. I don't know why he listened to my early shows, but if it wasn't for guys like Steve, we wouldn't be talking to people like James Taylor, who are 40 years old, but with 129,000 followers. So happy birthday, Steve. I hope you have a great day and hope you enjoy. Well, the day's almost over. So you basically hope your day was better than the day prior, and you have 40 more birthdays again. But gotta stand on my business. My brothers are tired from this guy's stuff, so I'm dealing with it. Boy, the chat is just popping. I mean, I can keep going. Maybe we'll just the chat will be here till like 4 a.m. Unless he tries and gives me a stun. Boy, Abraham's getting fired up, and I got to talk to Abraham. I got to get him on this platform. He's recommended. Hello, C Money and Darkron. What do you think there, C Money and Darkron? That's going to be a banger. You want to?
That's going to be a hell of a matchup, right?
Oh my God, that's going to be. Again. C Money has been in match after match candidate and of the year in ROEW, and he's going to have another one. Darkron. Darkron's on the best run of his career, and C Money's on the best run of his career. And the sad part is somebody has to lose. I mean, that's going to be a classic. I have a very good feeling on that match for the Prestige Championship.
Okay.
Oh, I was actually. I thought you were
my bad. Sorry,
I was like,
board of directors talking to me.
Yes, sir.
That Prestige Championship is going to be a hell of a main event of its own. As far as you see, it's C Money.
That's what I was saying.
I got a million things going in my head, Tom.
I understand you're a busy man.
I apologize. I was just letting you read off the chat. That's my mistake. I apologize for that. See, look, now I'm unprofessional. Now I sound like about 75% of the people that you have on this show.
That's a pretty good analogy. No. But you'll never be in that 75%. It's you and I have to say it's you and Mr. Delta that are in the rarefied air alongside, Ledger Shade and Omen and Soldier and Big Man Cam, Aaron Blaze. We can move on. We'll move on here. Evening, Mr. Money, JX and JP taking the Sinners to the moon. Ooh, I think he's talking about Justin Parsley and it's good old Justin Parsley. But then again, that's Thursday's show. This is Tuesday's show. It's almost time, Mr. Money. Who runs a better brand, Taylor or Adam Pearce? That's a good one. Being compared to Adam Pearce. That's a good one.
There you go. I say me, but that's just me.
I'm going with you, James, because you know why? Because Adam Pearce, come on, he's got the WWE machine behind him. You've been helping build this ROEW machine. You've been building it alongside Jack Delta, the outsider Jack Delta, and guys like BYW and guys like DKW and even guys like Jacob Collins and guys like C Money. C Money has been just on an impressive run. You have to just give him a lot of credit. And Justin Parsley's got the Rocket reference. I don't know if that's an Owen Hart reference or just because the Sinners are going to do well. I'm very excited for this match. See you soon. Couldn't agree more on that.
Not it's going to be a hell of a matchup. Nobody definitely is going to want to miss that one right there.
Big Man Cam is funny because he's making me laugh. I think she meant to say making me laugh in the chat. Only cowards turn around and run away. You've got the wrong guy, James.
Okay. Kelly, buddy, you misinterpret what you saw in whatever it was that you saw, according to Mr. Delta. Not that Delta needs me to back him up on anything, but with what I want to clear this up because I support Alexander Kelly.
Yes, we know Alexander for a long time on this
platform. I've been trying really hard to support him, but what you got to understand, Kelly, okay, number one, you're younger than a lot of these guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are at 19. Look at Aaron Blaze, but you can't judge somebody because they're tired of traveling or whatever it was that Delta said that got under your skin. You got to understand the bigger picture, because if you did put yourself in someone's shoes like that, myself, anybody that travels,
Omen and
you would.
Soldier have done it.
Allman and Soldier, Aaron Blaze,
Justin Parsley's doing it
Jackson
now.
Law,
Anthony
yeah,
Steele Anthony's definitely
Anthony
traveled,
Steele.
obviously.
If
Big
you
Man
really
Cam.
did put it, one thing is being in the ring. I heard what you said, and it's like I would kill to be in that position. Blah blah blah. That's somewhat true. I get it. That's passion, but you don't understand the heartache and the hard times and the trials of behind the scenes and what it means to go to these other places. Why do you think people used to give me so much shit for not showing up all the time? I've got a life at home. I'm married. I've got things to attend to here. I do a lot of other stuff. I can't travel all the time. And it's not really about money. It's just certain things in certain people's lives keep them from doing certain things.
Yeah, guys
And
tell me the
people
same
like,
thing. It's
yeah,
tough.
and people like Jack Delta and Aaron Blaze and others, just to name a few, may have made sacrifices like cutting their family out or their friends out to go focus strictly on wrestling. Why do you think somebody like Ric Flair, one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion, a lot of people agree, some people might not, I don't know. I love Ric Flair, but if you look at his personal life, he's been married more than a dozen times, it seems
Hulk
like.
Hogan's been married 3 times. I mean, there's a lot of guys in wrestling,
Exactly.
Bret
Stone
Hart's been married.
Cold, the
Bret
biggest
Hart's
Stone
been
Cold
married
Mark.
3 times. Yeah,
Yeah, because they put the business first and foremost over family, friends, life, period, even their
Hey,
own
it's the
fucking
same thing.
children.
A lot, it's people would think it's not true, but in the political world, where I've had some experience, there are some of the same things I've seen. Unfortunately, people's marriages broken up because somebody was running or relationships, and they didn't win, and it was like right afterwards the relationship ended. And I've seen that a couple of times, and it's tough.
Well, I
But
guess lastly, I would say, because you're exactly right, Tom. Lastly, what I would say to end this for you, Kelly, so you understand, is don't judge a book by its cover, because you don't know what somebody else is going through. And guys who are help paving the way for guys like you, a younger generation that's trying to get into the business, you don't understand until you really pay your dues.
And
You
I
haven't
think what
really
it
paid your
is
dues
he
yet.
saw a clip on TikTok where Jack Delta was talking about the travel. He talked about the sacrifices, and what he didn't understand, or maybe from his vantage point, I say he didn't understand Alexander Kelly, but Jack Delta was talking about like just what he's gone through. He's talked about everything in terms of just his life, his job, his situations, and like until you walk into his shoes, you can't really say, up and down, boo, yay, because he's traveled a very unique road. D'Angelo the Flames, another guy that's,
There you go.
meeting that out. D'Angelo's a guy that's probably been this year's Jack Delta. Aaron's been doing it for 6 years, and it's what it is. So let's move on, because this is not about Alexander Kelly's show. I want to make this about ROW. We'll move on. What was the most successful show you've ever done in ROW? It hasn't happened yet.
Every show.
No, the best is yet to come.
Amen. There you go. That's better words. Yes, the best.
I always say the best is yet to come. It's always been my line. The best is yet to come. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna get into Alexander Kelly fights, as I see some of it here. Woo Riders from Florida. Woo Riders has become a regular into the chat. How you doing? And Dimitri Green wants to call him Big Ass Cam. That's not true. He's not big. That's not nice. We don't want to go that far here. Big Man Cam, keep up with the jokes because they are funny. Now, here's more chats. We got more comments. Not James using prison references. You don't know anything about being in prison. If you have been, explained your attitude. You is the one holding pockets. Now, this is important because I don't know if you know this, but Big Man Cam he knows a thing or two about the penal system. He has some experiences in that world, and he was, obviously a man. That's why they call him Big Man Cam. So he knows a lot about that world. So he almost feels like you're Alexander Kelly to Jack Delta.
What?
Well, the comparison is like when you're talking about the prison references, it's kind of what you were the analogy of like Alexander Kelly's references to Jack Delta, the Big Man Cam prison references. He's comparing your references of prison to kind of his knowledge of the prison system. So that was just the analogy.
Big Man Cam don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's full of shit.
He told us he was the ROEW champion tonight.
He still got it wrong. I don't know how many times he's been hit in the head and had how many fucking concussions he's got. This son of a bitch is stupid.
What happened?
All he's thinking about is pizza.
Is it because you and him had that TikTok over a month ago? Is that what it was? Is that what it all boils down to?
No, not at all. He beat me fair and square. He got lucky. But that's a whole nother thing. The
next pay-per-view. Yes. I know we have Friday Night Face-Off, and I think we have something coming up in the next few weeks, right? We're going to have, is it Meltdown, yeah. I believe? See, I know my stuff. See, I know my stuff in this circuit.
That's a fan right there, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That's a fan who keeps up with this company that I do.
I love this company, by the way. I do love this company, by the way. I really do. I do love this company. Yes, Steve. Yes, happy birthday. Welcome, Steve, to the 40s. Yes, I will let Steve know.
Welcome to the big 40. I turned 40 this past April. So
you'll actually laugh. Steve is actually like as tall as Big Man Cam, but like a lot less heavier. But he's like, he went the basketball route, and then it didn't work out for him. He tried to be a politician, and that didn't work out either for him. So now he's just a teacher. And that's why I'm just trying to be here on Sportswire Radio. But let's move on. Steve's not listening to that one. I'll make sure he doesn't hear that part. Alex Cross, is he alive, Alex Cross? I mean, did you get him out of a medical assistance or get him out of ICU?
I checked on him. I had them give him a shot of morphine. Yeah.
Yeah. A heavy dose of it, right?
Yeah. He woke up pretty quick after that chair shot.
That's good. Good to know. Preach it. Ric Flair might be one of the greatest of all time, but his whole entire gimmick was stolen from another wrestler. Was that Buddy Rogers? Was it Buddy Rogers, I think?
The Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. A lot. See, there's some haters that do that. They're all like, oh, they just stole from this guy. Like, I'm a Stone Cold mark. Everybody's a mark of something. And also, if anything, they can take it and mold it into their own and make it better than what it is. Look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan got his stuff from
Superstar Billy Graham.
There it is, right there. He got his whole gimmick from it. It doesn't matter. Everybody is from something because we're all fans of this. And it is what it is. Ric Flair is just the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and you can look at almost every single Hall of Famer there is right now, and they're almost all will tell you that Ric Flair is on there. I
that you were stealing everything from Kevin Owens.
Who?
I thought you were stealing everything from Kevin Owens, the Stunner, and, you know.
I've been doing the Stunner long before Kevin Owens showed up to the WWE.
I know that. You've been going strong since 98.
I strongly believe that if I had found the right path and made it to WWE before Kevin Owens did, that Austin would have blessed me with the Stunner before he did him. Just saying.
But I have a bet, but I have a follow-up to make you feel a little bit better, let your heart not be too much troubled. You're the one still that came out okay. 129,000 followers nearly.
Yep, you're damn right.
129.
And I've busted my ass for every one of them, and I appreciate and love every single one of them.
And you can tag me all the time for those videos, and I try to watch as many of them when I'm not on Sportswire or falling asleep during the day. I would love to be on the show sometimes. I would love to be on your shows. If you're interested, I can send you James' info if you want to be on Sportswire. I think we spoke before. I would say maybe sometime next month because this month is pretty much I'm tapped out at this point. But next month, maybe we can have a conversation. Oh, your reference to Gage. Oh, okay. I don't know where the reference is, but we'll move on. I have a lot more comments here. They just keep on coming tonight. Everything in wrestling is stolen, though. Every gimmick someone has, you can tie in something they have to do or someone that's more over.
Yep.
I mean, BYW, just like you would say BYW, from your vantage point, stole that world championship from Jack Delta?
Yeah, he stole it, the little son of a bitch.
You like how I tied that one into, though? And he just Dimitri's not hating on Ric Flair. He was just having small talk. He was just a small chat. He was not hating on Ric Flair. So.
Oh, I know.
Also, Alex Cross medical update. By the way, this is what tonight's show is about. The reason I was here, Alex Cross health update. I'm doing better, gents. 100% hospital food's kind of whack, but can't complain. All I know is those guys are getting what's coming to them. You better believe it.
There you go. Trust me, they're going to get it for sure, Mr. Cross. Hey, eat plenty of Jell-O.
Good. And also, how about this Alex Cross photo? I mean, what a nice photo. It must look like an Etch-a-Sketch. Remember the Etch-a-Sketches you'd get as a kid? The Etch-a-Sketch? You'd think that was an Etch-a-Sketch? Yes.
You remember in Toy Story when Woody goes up and he goes, "Hey, Etch, draw!" And he's love it.
You think that was Alex Cross? That was like Alex Cross.
That might have been. It might have been.
By the way, Big Man Cam says he's got something he agrees with you on. It took an hour and a half. Something me and James can agree upon. Full shoot. He got his stunner from Austin, obviously. I stole the big ending. I stole the cowboy hat from Stan Hansen. And, of course, Cowboy James Storm. Good one. Stan Hansen, legend in Japan, absolutely. And James Storm. We all got something stolen. Moral of it is it's not that big a deal. Reinvent the style. You do with it. Yep. And
yeah.
I think we're actually even on the chat for the first time. That was over an hour. Wow, the chat was popping tonight. They were popping. Boy, our chat, let me tell you something. That's why you need to support ROEW. Before I get to a few other things with you, James, I have to put that link up here to support ROEW because I see right now ROEW is at 889 subscribers. So I want to challenge our chat out there. Let's get ROEW by this week or tonight to 900 subscribers. And ROEW, let's get them to 1,000 subscribers soon so I can put ROEW into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And maybe we can get together Big Man Cam and James Taylor and BYW on a stream and induct everybody in the next few weeks, maybe as soon as the next couple of days, if it all works out to plan. And let's get ROEW to 1,000 subscribers. They're almost there. Let's make it happen. I got 40 people watching us live. I got about 17 or 18 on YouTube. So if you haven't yet, hit the sub button. Or if you have, tell your friends. Have them tell their friends. Have them tell their friends. And make sure everybody follows ROEW. And I want to say hello to, I believe this is the nephew of Il Drago, if I'm not mistaken. How you doing there, my friend? And just wanted to say hi. And how you doing, my friend? One of our favorites, Il Drago. I love Il Drago, one of the up-and-coming stars in our circuit. He has a match with an ROEW talent, Joe Stone, which has thousands of views already on YouTube, and it's got 30-something likes. He was a huge part of Summer Bash, and it was nice to talk with him for a little while until, the chat basically, dived kind of like into this one show, but he is definitely one of our favorites. I'm going to see Il Drago Thursday on the air, and we're very excited about that. And I want to say hi to you, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to more coverage, everybody. Let me get to a couple of more comments now that we're all behind here. Oh, no hate to Dimitri, but there's some people who would think that legitimately, I promise. Yeah, that's the circuit for us. How are you going to reinvent that stolen title? He asked Big Man Cam. He's talking about Big Man Cam with that championship, but you've referred to him that he's not the champion, and I get that point. Okay, so obviously I've got a lot out of the way. Anything else ROEW-wise that you need to get off your chest? Now, we know Friday is going to be a big show. I mean, today's show was just, what a show. It was basically, you would have missed it if you stopped. You had to watch it. It was just an incredible opening match, Joe Stone and Matthew Forsaken. Then we had the whole segment where, we already Brunch winning that into fruition. Going into Friday, anything else ROEW? You talked about this champion, coming in possibly. We'll have to stay tuned and find out. But anything else that
it's every show from here on out? Every show just gets better and better. Just like you said, to any future show, it hasn't happened yet on how good it's going to be. It's just going to get better and better. We got a hell of a year lined up. And I support anybody that supports us at ROEW, and I thank every single person and fan that enjoys the underground and backyard wrestling that we do. And we put on the best in entertainment that we can, because the only reason we're doing this, the main reason we do this, is for the fans, because they love it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And much respect to all who wrestle in any promotion. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And I'm so glad Dimitri said that, because I mean, all too often we're seeing, oh, this person's killing that person. We saw the whole thing, with the Dalton Skull and Okami, with the UWA, and the whole thing with ESW. I don't know what's what, but the truth is that on this platform, really, we're about supporting our yarders, our undergrounders, our indie guys, our pro guys, our hardcore guys, because it is about all wrestling matters. And we love everybody to break the fourth wall for a second that goes out there and puts their blood, sweat, and tears. And as I say all the time, 80% of us and 80% of the time, this is what this platform does. And I'm glad that Dimitri said that. And I'm glad that people like Dimitri and Tristan Taylor are involved in the new PWF. And I'm very excited about the PWF Mid-South because their title match is going to be Sammy Slade, Cody Flores, a man you know very well, and also Chase Sullivan. I'm really excited about that. And just Dimitri's busting Big Man Cam's balls, I suppose. I take back what I said about being nice. Also, what stolen title? The one that ALW, yes, the All Legendary Wrestling had something. He's talking about that in Marion, Ohio, which, by the way, if I could for a second before we move on to a few final things, I want to give you a plug actually for a change, another different plug. I want to wish our very good buddy Judas a continued speedy recovery. Judas is AKA Dalton Edwards. He was here on Sportswire a week plus ago, and he was obviously in ICU last night. He has something related to his diabetes. He's doing much better, according to his mother. His mother messaged me on Facebook earlier today. She put out a big statement on her Facebook page, and I just want to continue to wish our prayers to Dalton Edwards, a.k.a. Judas, the evil angel, on his continued recovery. I hope that he gets better, and we're all pulling for you, all praying for you, my friend. And we take a time out for a second here from all the talk as we end the show soon to wish you well. And thank you so much for your time and everything you've done for us in this circuit. And can't wait for you to get better. And everybody just join me in keeping Judas in our thoughts and prayers, a.k.a. Dalton Edwards. And one more time again, happy birthday to my very good friend, Mr. Steven Saperstein, who hits the big 4-0. Literally, I think he's about as tall as the big 4-0. And again, the guy probably was my first ever listener, and he's one of the guys that listened. I don't know why during those early shows of Sportswire Radio, but we wouldn't be in the glitzy prime time, brightest lights, biggest stage with all the flashy lights, all the stars in the chat like Big Man Cam and Darkron and Dimitri Green and Jack Delta, of course, the legendary Jack Delta, and even guys like Alexander Kelly and James Taylor. If it wasn't for our good buddy, Mr. Steven Saperstein, happy birthday. But James, I wanted to give you a plug, actually. I wanted to put the TikTok plug out there for the audience before we move on to a few final things. If you haven't yet, go follow the legendary James Taylor on TikTok. He's right there because I'm on TikTok now. I can actually show the TikTok. So definitely support James. Everything you can, support this man. Look at this stuff. 499,000 here, 1.2 million, 7,000, 18,000, 8,000. I mean, listen, he doesn't even have to be here. This man, he's out here on his hobby. I mean, this is a hobby for him. This man is a legend. 87,000 followers. I mean, to me, this is the real Stone Cold. This is the real Stone Cold.
I'm just sharing with the world, Tom. My mentor, or the guy that I idolize in all of wrestling. It's no secret, obviously, but I'm not sitting there stealing his catchphrases, and I'm right there on the screen with him and talking about Poncho and just sharing his stuff in the TikTok world. And everybody seems
I
to
think
like
those
it.
Poncho, I tell you what, the chicken one was hilarious. Where the chickens, he was trying to get the chicken out of the garage. I thought that was like, oh my God, that was hilarious. Then the Poncho one, when Poncho was up and he was trying to get Poncho up and Poncho was out, and I thought that those are just hysterical. This is what James Taylor doesn't have to be involved in this sport of wrestling. He could just be on TikTok and have even more reels. But he's decided to be here because he cares. He loves this sport. He loves ROBW. He may not love BYW, but he loves the rest of us. And that's why you need to go and follow him on TikTok. He'll have more stuff, and we're going to see him back on Sportswire a lot more often. And ROEW is going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure for the 1,000 subs. And Taffy's Lounge, by the way, hit that sub button for them. James will be getting more Hall of Fame inductions, and I promise you, I'm behind on Hall of Fame inductions because I owe you like at least one. I owe you one.
Maybe I should get a Hall of Fame induction for if I hit 100,000 followers on TikTok.
I would give. Listen, I'll give it to you if you hit 90,000. I don't know.
I'd say I'll get to. I think I'm going to get to 100K before the end of this year. I really do.
Well, I remember when it was, I think it like 40. I think it was a year and a half ago. You were at 40, right? You went from 40 to 87. So yeah, you might get there. Yeah, I think you could. All right. So I'll tell you what, but we'll definitely put you in the Hall of Fame for more times. Taffy's Lounge is 1,000. We're going to get to 1,000. RWW's going to get to 1,000. You're going to get to whatever number you get here on TikTok, and you're going to get to all these other things. I owe you one. And yes, Zilla, thoughts and prayers to Judas. Yes, we want to give our thoughts and prayers to Judas, and also I think anything else you want to share before we get ready to sign out, because I think we've got the main points in for tonight. The chats, I think they're starting to get tired.
I think they're rested up, yeah, for sure. But yes, if you haven't, definitely check me out on TikTok. That's where my main go-to is, and then of course YouTube as well. Taff Space Taylor or Taff_Taylor on there, and Instagram. I'm trying to build the Instagram up slowly. I've went from 500 something followers to a little over 700.
I did see that. You were. I think now
up to you, Tom.
I hope you will. You'll catch up to me. I'm not that far ahead of you. What am I, 1,600 something? It's all right. It's good. You know, people tell me it's a good number. No, it's good. Actually, people tell me it's good. Facebook, I'm very good on Facebook. I'm almost at 2,500. That's a good one. Facebook, but that's okay. But
we need to get those 2,500 and those 1,600 over here on YouTube and get you up to like 3 or 4K.
Well, you know what? Listen, baby steps. We're almost at 1,000 on YouTube here. We're getting there. Listen. Let's let the people have been supporting. Listen, let's not tell people they shouldn't be supported. They haven't supported up. I've had people message me, I really want you to get more on YouTube. I have people, Luke Leyland, God bless him. I've shared on you. I share it. I have people tell me, I'm watching. I mean, people, they're out there. Trust me. I mean, they're definitely out there. People, let's thank the people enough for their, obviously support there and stuff. Okay. I think I got the point. I think it's time to say final words, final thoughts. Anything else you'd like to plug, share, or say before we bid adieu? And I'll put up the Taffy's Lounge. We'll go out with that so you can get maybe some more subs, hopefully, with that. So anything else you want to say?
Appreciate it. Definitely check us out this Friday, ROEW Face Off. It's going to be one hell of a show. I'm not going to say it's the best show, but it's definitely going to be full of surprises. And not only that, I am going to be dealing with them personally myself, Mr. The BYW for sure. So you don't want to miss that. You want to get ready for C Money and Dark Cron because that's going to be coming up here.
Oh my God, I cannot wait for that match. I can't wait for that match.
Mm-hmm. ROEW has been turning its new leaf ever since I said it was going to, since I've taken over, and it's been a hell of a ride so far, and it's been fun as hell, and I hope that everybody's been enjoying it. I've gotten nothing but a bunch of positive feedback on the whole thing since I've taken over, and I've got a lot of people. Did you happen to see today on Instagram that even Austin G said that he's been looking at it and would love to join it himself? That was an interesting thing.
It's funny. The Austin G thing, I think I'm gonna say nothing on it because part of me feels like I don't know. I mean, Osiris has been here, full disclosure, a couple times. Osiris was here, but I see the more and more I see this develop, part of me thinks I don't know what to believe on it, to be honest.
You're good, man. You're good.
I don't. Part of me thinks that is this really real or is it just? I don't know. I'll be honest. Austin was here and he was complete opposite. This is what I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All I want to say is that I really don't know on that. The UWA situation, I kind of have a little bit of a better grasp on that. As the ESW thing, who knows, really? Listen, who knows? I will say that one wrestler did tell me, name anonymous, thinks maybe it could be for the first time, maybe a ruse. So that was kind of interesting, which I've kind of thought it could potentially be all along, but who knows? I'm not in that room. I'm not in that environment. So, But it's good to see Austin G came to his senses and liked and said he liked ROEW because his own product, obviously, regardless of whatever is going on in his family, his own product has been non-existent. As a matter of fact, he hasn't had a show since he came onto Sportswire. His own show came out we interviewed him, and the show came out the next day, and that was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, well, what's that all about? I wonder why.
Maybe it was the curse of coming on Sportswire. The community kind of gave him that treatment, but we'll see. We wish them well. In the meantime, that's Taffy's Lounge. Hit the sub button for them. James is also on a number of different links that we put up, I know, throughout the show, but those are some of them. Please support them. Also, ROEW Backyard Wrestling, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, TeePublic. Also, please support them this Friday Night Face-Off. As James alluded to, a lot to see. Go check it out. I'll be here a couple of times throughout the week. I'll be here tomorrow with Jacob Young. That'll be interesting. Jacob Young. You'll never know what you get from Jacob Young. And you don't know. I honestly don't know what I'll get from Jacob Young. And then Thursday, the usuals will be here. The IMF friends, or maybe sort of friends of yours who sort of are in your promotion, out of your promotion, and they'll sort of talk in and out, I'm sure, throughout the evening, kind of like you did. I think it'll be a similar show to this one, but good stuff, my friend. Congratulations on the great show ROEW put together. It's already at 300 plus views, and it had a shoot ton of likes and everything else in between. And I'm looking forward to what's to come on Friday. And thank you for all you do for us for this great sport. And had a lot of fun. And I guess for the audience, thank you for clarifying that Big Man Cam, despite the video we received today, is not the ROEW champion.
He's a liar. That's why.
Liar, liar, like that Jim Carrey movie, famously.
Yep.
That is James Taylor. He is the owner of ROEW. He is the legendary Nemesis James Taylor, who's soon to be multiple times Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. He is running one of the best wrestling companies around. He is also the best wrestling owner in our circuit right now. One of the greatest personalities in wrestling history. The 129,000 followers speak for themselves. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're on Sportswire Radio, thank you so much for tuning in. We had a great time tonight. Obviously want to thank Max Strong for kicking things off. James Taylor closed it. We'll have more coverage, as I stated, tomorrow. And if you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going back to your regularly scheduled programming. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters.